ones. It is because of humans that we were smothered.
Oh.
If I can't have her.
Her horoscope. It came true.
Oh.
Ron, what are you doing? Try anything and you're canceled, bro.
Hey you! Are you tired of really lazy, bad Hollywood horror movies? Do you hate the clichés, stupid people making stupid decisions to fill the runtime of a generic horror movie, where a group of individuals die off one by one while they try to figure out how to beat the evil by speaking to a nice elderly person who then instantly dies afterwards, and at the end it's just two of them left as they defeat the evil just in the nick of time, and it all seems to be a happy ending for them to end with a jump scare that opens up the possibility for a sequel to suck even more money out of your wallet without putting any effort into the writing, acting, or directing? Well, turn your head east and look. What do you see?
I see Asian horror movies, and I've heard a lot of good things about Asian horror movies, but the problem is that I suck at reading subtitles. I am not used to it, and I can't focus on the subtitles, so that has kind of like steered me away from the whole like Asian horror movies. And even if I was interested in Asian horror movies, I have no idea where to even begin.
Don't worry, I got you. Just follow me and listen to the plan. It's bulletproof. Everyone has seen Squid Game, which is a South Korean TV show. Seeing a familiar face or two might make it easier for your brain to accept that you have to read subtitles to understand what's going on. And that's why the perfect choice to start your journey into Asian horror movies, which also happens to be one of the best Asian horror movies ever made, is Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. Gonjiam features a few recognizable faces. If you've seen Squid Game, that is, but I mean, who hasn't? And is a found footage style of horror movie that takes place in an asylum. If you want to know more about the movie, then check out our other videos as we talk about this movie all the time. From here on, there are two ways to go. If you're already half convinced Asian horror movies could be something for you, then check out Exhuma, which is, in my opinion, a really high quality horror movie which takes the storytelling in a unique direction. As when you think the movie is over, that's where the real story starts. The movie is divided into different chapters and takes some twists and turns that really captivates your attention quite early. And when you think you know what's going to happen, it completely shifts the story in a new direction. If you need a little more convincing and Asian horror movies are still a bit distant to you, then take a right and check out One Missed Call. If you have seen the American remake of this movie, then condolences to you. Then this is the perfect movie to watch, as it will feel familiar with the main plot points as the American remake. But, you know, good. The original Japanese One Missed Call perfectly shows why Asian storytelling is a lot better than most Hollywood movies, and why most American remakes fail as they remove everything that makes a horror movie scary and replace it with generic crap. No matter if you took a left or right, the path leads to the next point. The journey further east leads us to the next Asian horror movie you should watch. Ghost Mansion. A cartoon artist visits a supposedly haunted complex apartment where he meets the caretaker who proceeds to tell him the stories of the fate of some of the tenants of this complex building. Consisting of several short horror stories, the chances are high one or more of these stories will stick by you at the movie's end. Once again, the movie shows why Asian storytelling is vastly superior to most Hollywood horror movies, as even with a short amount of time, they succeed in telling a story that is both interesting and genuinely scary. Now that you have a good sense of what you can expect from Asian horror movies, it's time to take the train to the end station. And no, this is no pun about Ghost Station, which is another South Korean horror movie that is actually really good. And I do actually recommend it as well. But the final movie to really, truly showcase what makes Asian horror movies special. Asian horror movies often have an emotional backstory that lays the foundation of the storytelling and helps get you invested into the characters of the movie. And this next movie is the perfect example of exactly that. The Mimic is a supernatural South Korean movie about a married couple that has lost their son, and does truly showcase how far someone is willing to go when they are driven by grief. The acting is so convincing, and even when the decision making in the movie is questionable, because we understand why they do what they do and how we would probably do the same if we put ourselves in their shoes. That is the result of good storytelling, character development, and not least extraordinary acting from the lead actress.
여보, 왜 거기 숨어 있어? 밖으로 나와. 어?
And here we are at the end station. If you want to dip your pinky toe into the Asian horror pond and experience a whole new world of horror movies that in many ways are superior to the horror movies that you and me have been presented with the last few years, then this is the recommended path to take. There are so many more Asian horror movies I could recommend, so if you are curious about more Asian horror recommendations, as well as, well, horror movies from any country to be fair, then check out our other videos on this channel. Let us know in the comment section if you have watched any of these movies and what your thoughts are.